Bryce Young was one of the most prolific players in all of college football for the past 2 years. In 2021, he won the Heisman Trophy in a season in which he threw for 4,872 yards, 47 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. Followed that up with a fantastic season again in 2022, where he had 3,328 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions in just 12 games of action. He's a fantastic player with the ability, the intangibles, the production, all throughout college that make him very appealing to be one of the top picks in the 2023 NFL Draft, but there's just one problem with him. He's small. And he's not just small, he's historically small. He measured in at 5'10 and 1/8, which is in the first percentile for quarterback height, and 204 pounds, which is the 6th percentile for quarterback weight. And there's no way that he played at 204 pounds at Alabama. I would certainly expect him to be more in the 190 to 195 range at the true playing weight for him. That would pretty much put him in the 0th percentile as far as quarterback weight goes, and I think he's probably one of the skinniest quarterbacks we have ever seen. The question is, how much does this really matter? We've seen short quarterbacks such as Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray succeed in the NFL, but they have their fair share of issues. They were thicker than Bryce Young. They're not very good at throwing over the middle of the field. Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson have had injuries throughout their career as well. Is this going to be something that Bryce Young also struggles with? When I watched Bryce Young's film, I really didn't think that he had a lot of the same issues that plague some of these shorter quarterbacks like Wilson and Murray, that he was really able to throw over the middle of the field very well, that he was able to maneuver the pocket pretty well, get around the offensive lineman so he can see into those throwing windows. And I also thought he was very good working both within and outside of the structure of the offense. He can stay within the pocket and win, or he can attack outside the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and be a true weapon. Thought he displayed very good accuracy at all 3 levels of the field. He was able to protect his wide receivers. He was able to fit it into tight windows, hit players in stride. I thought overall he showed pretty good accuracy, really some of the best in the class besides maybe CJ Stroud, who's the true pocket passer of this class. I thought Bryce Young did a very good job showing off his accuracy at Alabama. One thing that I also think that Bryce Young does very well is he goes through his progressions. He's able to anticipate throwing windows. He's able to read defenses both pre-snap and post-snap and diagnose where that football should go. Daniel Jeremiah did actually leak that Bryce Young did get the highest score on the S2 cognition test, which essentially measures how quickly athletes are able to process information. Some of the other quarterbacks that notably scored very high on this were Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, some players that have had some big success in the NFL. Bryce Young had the highest score of anyone in this class. While all of that makes Young a very good prospect, what truly makes him special is his ability to create outside the structure of the offense. He's really able to understand where the rush is coming from, escape it, reset his feet, keep his eyes downfield, and let it fly. And he does that better than almost anybody that I have seen in college. He's very, very good when it comes to improvising outside of the structure of the offense. Something important to note, however, though, with that is that he does operate the structure of the offense very well when everything does go right. Somebody like Zach Wilson, who did a very good job out of structure, really couldn't be a creator within the pocket, and he wasn't very good within what was supposed to happen on any given play. I think now, looking in hindsight, that was the issue with Zach Wilson. That's something that he really needed to improve on. I don't think Bryce Young has that issue. He's very good within the pocket and within the structure of the offense, but what truly makes him special is his ability to be a creator when the play breaks down. He's able to keep his eyes downfield and absolutely attack the defense at all 3 levels. Young doesn't necessarily have the strongest arm in the world. He's not necessarily the most mobile. I think both of these traits are NFL caliber. They're not going to hold him back from being a good quarterback at the next level, but I don't think they're going to be the main reasons that he wins. Much like, Joe Burrow, who has a good arm, who has good mobility, but that's not the reason he wins. I think that in a lot of ways, Bryce Young plays like a smaller Joe Burrow in that he is able to be a creator outside the structure of the offense. He's able to operate the offense very well, understand progressions, go through them. He's very accurate, but he doesn't necessarily have the best arm or the best mobility. Those physical traits aren't necessarily special when it comes to Bryce Young. When it comes down to it, his size, in my opinion, doesn't really impact the way that he plays the game of football. He's able to attack the middle of the field. He's able to run when he needs to. He's able to escape the pocket, keep plays alive, keep his eyes downfield, and really be a creator. I don't think that his size really impacts the way that he plays quarterback. That aspect of his size doesn't necessarily give me a lot of concern. Now, it all comes down to if you think a 5'10", 190-pound quarterback can survive the physicality of the NFL. I completely understand why people are put off by his size. it is tough to bet on an outlier, and Young absolutely is an outlier. He did sprain his AC joint in his shoulder this past season and did miss time, and when he gets hit, it can sometimes look like a car crash, and he just gets absolutely walloped. When it comes down to it, though, Bryce Young is absolutely an outlier, and you don't want to make a habit of picking outliers, but I think that Bryce Young is worth taking a shot on. I do have him as my quarterback 1 in this class. I just think his ability to create outside the structure of an offense, to really kind of read and react to what the defense is putting in front of him and know where to go with the football. And he also didn't have a very strong wide receiver core this year. I don't think that you can really say that he got carried by his team. I thought in a lot of ways he was really kind of what was keeping them afloat, and he really showed a lot of success at Alabama. He's a career winner. He's somebody that I just trust to kind of take over in the NFL, and assuming injuries are not a massive issue for him, he's somebody that I think is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. If I were the Panthers at number 1 overall, Bryce Young is the quarterback that I would be taking. Even though I do really like CJ Stroud, Bryce Young is my number 1 quarterback. Let me know down below, would you take Bryce Young? Do you think his size is going to be a massive problem in the NFL? If you do like this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button down below. Put out tons of NFL draft content just like this that you will not want to miss. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.